What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and we all knew this time would come. How did we know this time would come? Because we have seen the same type of situation happen before. And the chain of events played out the same way then as they are playing out right now. You know, ever since I have been making these Rings of Power videos, I've been having people reach out to me asking me, why am I so confident that the Rings of Power is going to be such a bad show if I haven't even seen a single episode? Well, the answer to that question is very simple. It's because we have seen the same situation happen time and time again. This same situation happened with Star Wars. This same situation is happening with Marvel as we speak. And now the time has come. The time that we all knew was coming. The time in which Amazon realizes that all of their tricks failed. Their damage control blew up in their face. And now they are going to resort to doing the same thing that Disney resorts to doing. Attacking the fans. Calling the fans ists and phobes. And claiming that the fans must hate women and hate people of color, all because they want someone anywhere, please, for the love of God, to stay true to the source material that we know and love. They've been doing all types of marketing for this show, and it has all been an epic fail. Every single interview, it is all the same. Non-stop woke word salads, all about diversity, all about inclusion, all about SJW talking points, and nothing about Tolkien. And when they mention Tolkien, they talk about how this is a new reimagining, new take on blah, 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 blah-bitty blah. I am so tired of the stupid words they spit out of their mouths, because you know there is nothing genuine about any of these people on this Rings of Power cast. They all identify themselves as activists, not actors, not actresses, activists. And they have attached themselves to this show, not because they care about the characters, not because they care about Middle Earth, only because they know this is a good chance for them to spout off about their politics and about this and about that. All types of stuff that none of us fans care about. But you see, these tactics have been used before. These weirdos, these political activists, they infiltrate right into a property that you love. Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Halo, you name it. And then they start changing everything around. Characters start getting race swapped. They start gender bending characters. Next thing you know, half of these characters you grew up with are now homosexuals for no apparent reason. Their races have changed. Their backgrounds have changed. And before you know it, you're left with a shell of the character that you used to know and love. Well, they come in and they mess up these properties with all of their politics, all of their propaganda, all of their virtue signaling. And then when actual real fans of these properties speak up about it, they try to shut them down and attack them. How can you come into a property like The Lord of the Rings? You know you are changing everything about Tolkien's lore. You know that you are straying far, far away from the source material. And then get mad at the fans who point it out? And let's take it a step further. A lot of people weren't even really saying anything until these weirdos had to do all of these interviews and just hammer home the fact that this is all about diversity. This isn't about the TV show. This is all about this SJW talking point and that SJW talking point. I have heard little to nothing about this show. Yet I have watched interview after interview after interview, and I have laughed my ass off at every single one of them. And I find it funny that this last string of interviews was meant to be out there for damage control. And it didn't work. In fact, it was even worse. That so Vietnam vet, she's absolutely, utterly insane. She really thinks as if she's the first person with her skin tone to have ever done anything on planet Earth the way she talks. But when they come in and they change these franchises around, and they change the races and sexes and everything of these characters, and you have an issue with it, they say, oh, you must hate people of this color, or you must hate women. No, I just don't want a character that I know and love changed to a woman if that character has historically been a man. No, I don't. It's not that I hate people of this color or that color. I dislike them or that. I just don't want the characters that I know and love changed. Just like I don't want any character of any other particular color changed to another color. And I've seen the arguments in my comment section. Well, what about movies like The Prince of Persia? What about movies depicting ancient Egyptians where everyone was white? I get it. I'm not okay with that either. I really despise the fact that Matt Damon was the star of the Great Wall movie. I thought that was pretty idiotic. So I'm not ignoring the fact that there was a problem in the past, maybe with casting characters that weren't the right race historically for the characters that they were playing. I get that. I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong about that. But if we're really looking to progress in life, we're really looking to progress as a society, don't we want to stick closer to the source material now? Don't look back and say, oh, well, this movie from the 1950s had white Egyptians, and then say it's okay now to change the race of random hobbits and harefoots and elves and whatnot. Because if we're really progressing, we know that we're not supposed to change the race of the characters in the source material. Now, because people have aired their grievances with the fact that Amazon has come in and changed everything about Tolkien's world, now they have given the green light to the cast of The Rings of Power to start attacking the fans. And the actress who plays Galadriel in The Rings of Power said this on Instagram. Anyone sending hate to my black castmates, get off my page, get off the internet, and shut up. Notice how the only thing that is focused on is the black castmates part. I have watched a lot of people roast this show. I have been roasting this show myself. I know for a fact that the people that I see roasting this show and myself, we're not just roasting it because they race swapped some characters. We're roasting it overall. The whole entire thing, up and down. Regardless of what color the character may be, we all believe this show is going to be complete dog shit. And that doesn't specifically have things to do with just the cast members who happen to be a particular race. That has to do with everyone involved in this show. Every single last person in front of the camera and who is writing this show and the filmmakers. I want to make it clear that this has nothing, my quarrel, my beef with the Rings of Power has nothing to do with the technical people. It has nothing to do with the people working on CGI. It has nothing to do with the people creating sets. It has nothing to do with all of the people that are working behind the scenes to make this happen. Because to make a show like this, to make any movie, there are just so many people working on a set at a given time to just make everything work. And I know a lot of those people are regular, hardworking people that don't go and don't even believe in the same nonsense that all of these actors and actresses and filmmakers, they don't believe in the same nonsense. So I want to make it clear that I don't have anything against them. But as for everyone else, I have a huge issue with all of them. Because none of y'all cared about Tolkien, yet you're coming in here pretending like you do. And not just that, pretending as if you have just been God's gift to man, and that you are making things right that Tolkien didn't. That you're correcting the ways of Tolkien in a way. And I'm convinced now that this whole tit for tat, attacking fans and coming at fans, I'm convinced that this is just part of the marketing of these TV shows now. I am fully convinced of that. Because, once again, I've seen it happen. I've seen it play out too much. When they know, hey, our marketing's not working. Everyone's catching on to the fact that this show is going to be garbage. We saw it happen with the Kenobi show. Kenobi was garbage. They knew it was going to be garbage. The marketing made it look like it wasn't going to be that great. Once a couple of episodes came out, and it just wasn't really hitting on the levels that it should be, they reversed course. It was no longer about promoting the show. Let's promote all of the drama going on around the show, and that's how we will sell the show. So now people started tuning into Kenobi because of all of the racial drama going on with Reva and all of that nonsense. Totally fabricated BS. We're going to cherry pick a couple of people who said hateful things on the internet, and we're going to create a whole narrative around it. And that is what is about to happen with the Rings of Power. All of the trailers have gotten ratioed to high hell. All of the interviews are getting ratioed. These people are having to take the comment sections off of their posts. They're having to remove the dislike buttons. Hell, the Rings of Power is largely responsible for why we don't even get to see the dislikes on YouTube as we speak. The pushback has been that bad. So once everything else fails, what they do is they go ahead and create this drama around the show. Showrunners, even if there are people saying this and saying that, you shouldn't be acknowledging random people on the internet that are saying certain things about certain cast members. When has that ever been the marketing of a show or a movie or anything, ever in life besides recent history? Do you think that people didn't have criticisms of any movie and TV show to ever come out? They did. But back then you didn't hear like, oh, the latest Arnold Schwarzenegger movie is coming out. We know people are making fun of the way Arnold talks, and this is got to be stopped. You are a phobe and you're a bad person, and we're going to market the movie all around this drama. No, that never happened in the past. But now, every single other movie that's coming out from Disney, now Lord of the Rings, Power of the Rings, the Rings of Power, the Rings of nonsense, that's how they market their shows now. And I hope people start picking up on that. Understand that this is a marketing ploy. When all else fails, we will attack the fans, and we will just try to create even more division within society. And now the next thing that's going to happen, we already know, is now that they're calling people ist and phobes and whatnot, now they're going to act as if every single person who has a problem with the Rings of Power, they must all be far right and belong to a certain political party. That is what is coming next. And then they're going to try to create a divide. Well, if you don't like the Rings of Power, it must be because you voted for this guy, or you're far right. And if you like the Rings of Power, if you're on the left, you must like this and stand with us against these hateful right-wingers. And it's just the same nonsense with every show. But I can tell you for a fact that all of the fans of Tolkien are upset about the Rings of Power. It doesn't matter their political background. It doesn't matter their race. Hell, most of the fans, I don't want to say most, but Lord of the Rings is different than a lot of the other things that we look at. Like, Lord of the Rings is known worldwide. It's big in various places all around the world. And if you think that all of these fans who have a problem with the Rings of Power, they're all far right and they must like Trump or they must like this or that, then you're sadly mistaken. You couldn't be more wrong. You could not be more wrong. There are people living in other countries who do not care about American politics in the least bit. They don't care at all. And they still have a problem with the Rings of Power. But that's what all of this is about. We have a particular political party that has a lot of influence in Hollywood, and they have now turned everything in entertainment into nothing but political propaganda. And now that it is not, palatable for a wide-scale audience, they are attacking people who don't like their politics and don't like their propaganda. It's really that simple. So seeing this post, seeing something like that, an actress for a TV show, $1 billion TV show that's about to come out in a couple weeks, that used to be a big deal. Now this is the norm. Actress tells fans to shut up. That used to be a big deal if you heard something like that. Now, no one even bats an eye. We all knew this was going to happen. So, within the next couple of weeks leading up to this show, I expect to see a dramatic shift from, just promoting the Rings of Power, showing little clips, to, now we have to play the victim. Everyone, please, watch the Rings of Power because these bad people over here said something about our first ever black female dwarf of color, please. Watch, mark my words. Over the next couple of weeks, they are going to ramp up attacks on fans. How in the world did we get to this point? How? Where we have movie studios and actresses attacking fans of the properties, fans that they want to watch their show. It is just absolutely crazy. But you know what? At the very least, I get to sit here and talk about it, and I get to laugh at it with all of you all. So please, while you're here, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.